I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for another another bit of news. But this one is sort of positive if you're a United fan. Depends on how you view it. But Richard Arnold obviously going to be taking over in February, on the 1st of February. And obviously Ed Woodward is not going to be in a constituency role. So no consultancy, none of that. It's going to be straight out with Ed Woodward, in with Richard Arnold. And look, some at United will be happy about that. Some will be annoyed. But it is really one of them. Big up to Tyler in the chat as well as Mustafa. We love to see it. But before we get into all of that, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn notifications on as well. But Ed Woodward, towards the end of his time at Manchester United, has finally started having good opinions. Genuinely, it's almost shocking. The first one that I saw, Ed Woodward has talked to staff frequently of his admiration of Mason Greenwood, telling them he is the most natural player at Manchester United and that 2 years more maturity will see him established for club and country for a decade. And that, I mean, it's true. It genuinely is true. Mason Greenwood is that good. And at least we know that Ed Woodward actually did know that as well. So, you know, I'm not too bothered by that. I actually think, you know, now I'm half tempted to say give Ed Woodward the keys to Old Trafford again. He can stay. But I know United fans will not be happy about that. Mustafa says, so glad Ronaldo exposing these frauds. Do you know what? I want him to talk about Ronaldo, to be fair. But I do want to talk about Ronaldo in a way, because I was watching the United stand last night, I think, or I watched one of the videos, right? And Mark Goldbridge was talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, because obviously, as we know, that there's been a few things, and you know, fine, Maguire, yeah, doesn't really matter. But when you've got players like Mason Greenwood sort of having a bit of an issue with the undroppability, I think of Ronaldo, then I do think we sort of do have a bit of a problem there. So I was having a little think, right? Because Goldbridge was like, oh, if you don't like Ronaldo, get out of the club. And I'm like, man, you literally want to build your club around someone who's got a year and a half. If you don't get top four, someone who ain't even staying. So it's like, I get that Ronaldo is one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. Is that him now? Well, no. And look, we can talk about, does Ronaldo get service, all of this, that, and the other. But sometimes as a experienced player, sometimes as, you know, the big boss on the pitch, you've got to make a chance. You've got to maybe open yourself up, move to a different place, actually do something. Because how many times in the last few games has Ronaldo just ghosted his way through the game? Admittedly, against Wolves, he should have had a goal because Sancho should be putting him through there. You know, if Ronaldo don't score from there, he's a fucking idiot. So I agree that there is elements that Ronaldo isn't getting the service, but at the end of the day, he's also got to ask for the ball, make something. But if he can't do that, then he ain't good enough. And you have to work with that, and you have to understand that, yes, of course, in terms of mentality and sorting out the mentality at United, he's absolutely correct. Ronaldo is fixing that, or exposing that, shall we say. It's not his job to fix it. But the situation is quite simple. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best, but he is not the best player in the world anymore. And for all of this ridiculous talk from Mark Goldbridge saying, well, if you don't like Ronaldo, fuck off. And it's like, okay, tell Mason Greenwood to fuck off and you build your club around Ronaldo. We'll see which one does better in 5-10 years' time, shall we? And this is the illogical bit that I do not understand with so many fanboys, because it's not even that they're United fans, they're just Ronaldo fanboys. Goldbridge ain't a United fan, he's a Ronaldo fanboy. He's proved it enough now. He's a fucking idiot, for starters, saying, if you don't like Ronaldo, fuck off. It's like, well, okay, let's go compare Mason Greenwood and Ronaldo in 10 years' time, shall we? We'll see which one is still kicking a fucking football. So, but by all means, tell Mason Greenwood to fuck off, get out your club. I would love that, because at least then he might actually have a chance of succeeding. So, that would be fucking amazing. But, Goldbridge ain't a United fan. He's a Ronaldo fanboy, and he can fuck off. So yeah, it just did my head in. I wasn't even gonna do that. I wasn't even gonna go for Goldbridge, or I'm not even having to go at Ronaldo. I'm not even having to go at Ronaldo. I'm just sort of just sitting there and sort of hopefully speaking facts, but saying, look, Ronaldo is a fantastic player. He's not the best in the world anymore. He was the best in the world, and he's obviously the GOAT, or near enough there anyway. But ultimately, he ain't the best in the world anymore, and he ain't going to be around for 5 years. So maybe United should actually have thought, well, instead of getting Ronaldo, because clearly challenging with that midfield ain't ever going to happen, instead of building a club around Ronaldo and Cavani, who've got the combined age of like 100, you might as well start building your club around a 20-year-old Mason Greenwood, a bit like Arsenal. And it's like, has United not looked at anything? Like, I swear United and Arsenal are going on the same trajectory, but Arsenal are just slightly ahead of them because they went down a bit further. I mean, we're literally seeing the repeat and the re-rinse of Manchester United doing what Arsenal did. It's like, for me, you build your club around hungry young players who will play for the badge, who will run through a brick wall. We're seeing it with Arsenal. Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, Ramsdale, Gabriel, even though he's an idiot, Ben White. They're building it around the younger players, and those younger players are not intimidated, they're not worried, and they will fight for the shirt. They haven't been corrupted like the more experienced players. So if you think about United, you say Mason Greenwood, you say Ahmad, you say Sancho, maybe Rashford does need some time out. Then you're looking in the midfield going, give James Garner a go. What's the problem with giving James Garner a go? He's much better than McTominay and Fred. I mean, what's the risk? I mean, you're not going to win the league anyway, and top four looks like it's going to be virtually impossible. And in fact, it'll probably be more possible to get top four with James Garner than McTominay. Or fucking Slabhead. You've got a better chance playing Phil Jones, and I mean that's the unfathomable bit I don't get really. So, I wanted him to do that, but it really annoyed me. It's not Ronaldo's fault he has to rely on Sean Wan-Bissaka to create chances. I know that, but sometimes you have to give a different option. Sometimes you have to move a bit. Sometimes you have to do something different. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to work. Because, whipping in crosses, he's had Dallo. So what's the excuse then? He's had Dallo and Telles for what? Newcastle, Norwich, Palace. He had Dallo and Telles. Both of them are apparently world class. Apparently they're the best attacking wing backs you can get. So he can't do it with them. He can't do it with defensive wing backs. Who the fuck can he do it with? That's all I'm asking. Niall versus Goldbridge, I would eat that guy alive, and not just because I'm a fat bastard, but because his football, his ability, I don't know what goes through his head half the time. But again, please do tell your younger players who don't like Ronaldo to fuck off, because you're just going to compound the issue bigger when Ronaldo does leave, and you're left with fucking Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. Well, hey, at least they're English or Scottish. Are you saying Ronaldo is the problem? No, I'm not simply saying Ronaldo is the whole problem, but Ronaldo is, of course, part of the problem. Why isn't he? In the games that Rangnick's played, Ronaldo has gone missing in pretty much most of them, right? He's not really got there. He's not really got an understanding with any of the players. And it was Cavani that came on against Newcastle that got them the goal. Yes, he got a penalty against Norwich. It was rightfully was a penalty, and he scored it. Congratulations. And it was a moment of brilliance from Fred. So I'm not saying Ronaldo's been the problem, but how the hell is he undroppable? Because the issue, and this is the issue with Goldbridge, he's either not read the quote or he's actually not put that part into his head. Because the quote said Cavani and Greenwood, obviously he put Maguire in there as well for some ungodly reason. They said in the quote that Mason Greenwood and Cavani were struggling with the undroppable status of Ronaldo. Well, the simple thing is, Ronaldo shouldn't fucking be undroppable. He's just another player. If you are the manager of Manchester United and Ronaldo has got such an influence that you can't even drop him, then you should not be manager of Manchester United, because ultimately there are many attackers there. And if Ronaldo is having poor form, which every player goes through, why the hell shouldn't he be droppable? Harry, every team in that player should be droppable, right? He's dropped Bruno Fernandes, right? He's dropped Cavani. He's brought off Mason Greenwood more times than I care to imagine, and half of them it's been Rashford or Sancho that's played shit. But hey ho, we'll go with it. You have to be able. Why is Ronaldo undroppable? What has Ronaldo done over the last 4 or 5 games under Rangnick that has meant that he is undroppable? Fuck all to me. He scored a penalty. Well done. He scored a penalty. Are we seriously telling me that a penalty is enough to keep you in a side when you've done fuck all in the other games? Right? He hasn't got a link up with Greenwood. That's evident to see, whereas Cavani at least does. He's impacted Rashford's game in a negative way. Sancho don't look right. I mean, Sancho was meant to come in for the right side of the attack. Greenwood's probably annoyed because Greenwood was meant to be going up forward, up into the front line as the sole attacker. Ronaldo's put everyone's nose out of joint. And whilst, of course, the standards and all of that is absolutely being exposed, probably, as you say, by Ronaldo, we already knew the standards were on the floor. We've known that for ages. Didn't need Ronaldo to expose that. In fact, it's not even Ronaldo that's exposed it. It's been Rangnick. Because these links, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, these leaks weren't coming out. So it wasn't Ronaldo that's exposing these leaks. It's actually your manager. Ralph Rangnick's gone in there, bollocked a few players, given a few players some home truths and made them run a bit more. And they have all gone absolutely fucking berserk. They've dropped their tools. They've walked out of training at 5 p.m. fucking fuming that they've got to drive home in the dark. So it's Ralph Rangnick that's actually exposed the standards and gone, well, no, do one. I want you at training in the afternoon. Deal with it. I'm your boss. You'll do as you're told. He's gone in there and probably had a go at some players, told them, I need you to run a bit more. And they've all gone, excuse me, you want me, a professional footballer, to run? Are you off your head? Are you smoking cocaine? Like, that is literally the situation. So Ronaldo's exposed fuck all, because under Ollie, when Ronaldo was there, these leaks still weren't coming out. And these leaks are coming out from the English players. Basically, what's happened is, of course, Ronaldo's gone in there, pissed off Harry Maguire, Mason Greenwood, and Edison Cavani. The others probably not too bad. I think he's even probably put Bruno out of joint a bit as well. But these leaks that we're now seeing is because Rangnick's asked some players to run a bit more, and they're fucking fuming. It's like unbelievable the attitude of some of your players. It really truly is. Evening, hope you're well. United have no identity anymore. Teams are not scared to go to Old Trafford and play. Well, no, that whole stigma of Old Trafford left ages ago, and we'll go through some of the quotes from Ed Woodward that sort of explains why he's a bit, all of that. Big up to DC, big up CFC. Most of the players in the team are serial losers. Yeah, But there's no doubt. I mean, of course there are. Of course they are serial losers. But ultimately, you know, how do you change that? Well, you need to win something. They need to do it pretty damn quick. If I had a bottle of water and some Woodward in a desert thirsty, I wouldn't drink it myself. Oh, pail of water and some Woodward. I have no idea. But Ed Woodward actually hasn't been that bad. Of course, he's made a lot of mistakes, but you know, as a human, we should absolutely, you know, deal with it. And he's. I think he's been quite open. I think, you know, there's a few statements here that we can read out, and I think he's been quite open. I think he understands that, you know, there has been a lot of mistakes made, and I think he sort of acknowledges that. So the first one said, well, the first bit is actually about Arnold, which says, as Edward Wood prepares to stand down, he had one more piece of advice for Richard Arnold, which was to focus on the long term and ignore the noise. That's fine. You can ignore the noise if you want, but that noise ain't going away. The noise out of the club, let alone the fans are one thing. They've got a shit ton of noise, right? They're fuming. The noise out of the playing staff, that cannot be annoyed. You cannot ignore that. That needs dealing with. Whether that be you sell them, whether that be Ralph Ragnick deals with them up until the summer and tries to get a few gone on in the process. For me, obviously, you know, the ideal situation would be you got half your squad now, but that really does fuck your season over. So he'll just have to try and get by, use Mike Phelan or Darren Fletcher to, I don't know, do a circus trick or something for the English boys, because clearly they need something. Do all of that. And then, you know, in the summer, gut that squad completely. I'm talking major departures. I'm talking Maguire gone. I'm talking whoever the fuck's moaning and whoever the fuck's leaking needs to fuck off. So Jesse Lingard, I think Jesse Lingard actually spoke some shit today, or someone from a Jesse. I actually threatened to headbutt people on socials. You know. Because of something that was tweeted out. Let's see if I can go back and find it. I should have really put it on here, but I wanted to headbutt someone when I heard it, because it was like you're just using up the rhetorical crap that the Ronaldo fanboys have spoken about. It was just doing me head in. A lot about Richard Arnold. Obviously, that was the thing that we had seen. Then we got the 10-hour crap. 17 players unhappy at Old Trafford. I mean, not all of them will want to leave, but I can imagine that a few of them are furious. Let's just type in Jesse Lingard. There we go. Let's see. Right, here it is. So some of Jesse Lingard's teammates, and you can probably put the English lot on here. Believe he is overdue a run in the MUFC team amid Jadon Sancho struggles and Mason Greenwood's apparent greediness is also believed to have riled some teammates. And if I hear that Mason Greenwood is greedy one more fucking time, I'm going to headbutt someone. So it's doing my head in. It truly is doing my head in. So I saw a tweet. It was from a Twitter page. And Mason Greenwood has created the same amount as Jadon Sancho, Luke Shaw. He's created more than Cristiano Ronaldo, more than Jesse Lingard, right? And this is per 90, I believe. But he's created less than Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes and actually Donny van de Beek. So his his expected assists are the same as all your other creative players. So do not sit here and tell me that Mason Greenwood is fucking selfish, because you just literally show yourself to not watching football and to having an agenda, or to being a Ronaldo fanboy. And let me help you, he won't fuck you. So, you know, that is the simple bit of it. Greenwood isn't selfish. He's improving month by month. I've even said, and I've quoted saying that for me, the Greenwood's got majorly better already over the coaching of Ralph Rangnick. You can see which players are taking the bit and working with it, and you can see the ones who aren't. And there's a major bit there. Now, is that United need to rebuild? Well, yeah, I guess they do, but I thought they had just done one. But yes, they do need another rebuild for sure. How that clown gave himself a raise post-pandemic with years of failure is beyond my understanding. That's fair. That is fair. Richard Arnold replacing Ed Woodward, not a win. Both bankers. It rhymes with banker wanker. Yeah, but Dylan, this is where I just know you haven't actually read the full story, and I'm glad you've come here. Let me educate you. So Richard Arnold has already spoken about wanting to delegate more of the role than Ed Woodward done. So basically, Arnold is one that wants to delegate. So he's happy for Richard Arnold, for Ralph Rangnick, for Darren Fletcher to be the ones making decisions on the football side of things, and then Richard Arnold is going to make the sort of commercial side. So he's just going to do the normal stuff he's been doing, and he's going to delegate. That's why, don't forget, Ralph Rangnick is going to come in as a consultant for 2 years, which I can only assume is probably maybe sporting director or something on that ilk for 2 years. Probably teaching Richard Arnold or whoever to do it, and not Richard Arnold, fucking hell, teaching John Myrtle to do it. So, that's the bit I see there. Mason Greenwood has possibly been our best player this season. I watch him play, and he's so much better on the ball now, as well as decision making. Niall, I have seen scenarios where he could have passed. That's fine. I've seen times where Ronaldo could have passed. I've seen times where Sancho could have passed. I've seen times where Rashford could have passed. I've seen times where Cavani could have passed. I've seen times where Bruno could have passed. I've seen times where fucking Fred and McTominay could have passed. I've seen times that Donny van der Beek could have passed. I've seen times Lingard could have passed. Do you want me to go on? He doesn't lose the ball as much as Rashford and Bruno. But are they getting the hate? No. Because one feeds children and one's Bruno Fernandes. Simple, really. What Mason Greenwood needs to do is go fight some political agenda, and everyone will love him. Absolutely love him. Because apparently we no longer judge on football. We judge PR. So Mason Greenwood, go hire yourself the best PR company and drizzle some glitter on your shit performances. Not that there have been shit. Just drizzle that glitter, because that's what people look at now. We no longer judge based on footballing ability. That's cool. That's cool. That's fine. Not a problem. I don't, but you can if you so wish to. Do United have a spine to build around? Do they fuck? Do they fuck? Big up to Kenny. Firstly, I can't hear you. I'm in class. Secondly, hi. Big up, Joshy. Big up, Joshy. Richard Arnold won't make signings, I know, but I'm not gullible and I won't be believing anything that comes out of the club. Well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But Mason Greenwood is a striker. I want him to be slightly greedy. Arnold wanted Rangnick. They know each other for some time. That's my only hope with Arnold, else he's just a Woodward with a different haircut. He's also fatter. Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. All our players make the worst attacking decisions. I was going to finish, but you commented on Arnold, so I responded to that. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I have just lost my shit. It's pissed me off. It's pissed me off. Like, this whole shit about Greenwood not being, not being what? So him being selfish. It's just done my head in. It's like, do you even watch fucking football? Or do you just either swallow up what Goldbridge is saying or swallow up what Ronaldo fanboys is saying? Because if that's the case, fuck off. Because I cannot be dealing with your immaturity and your uneducated footballing opinions. And I'm not greatest footballer in the world, as you can see. And I'm certainly not the greatest tactician at mine. But even I can see Greenwood doesn't lose the ball more than fucking Rashford and Bruno. But do they get the hate? No, they don't. So it's like, fuck off. Like, genuinely. One day I will just headbutt someone, and they're gonna have it coming. They're gonna have it coming. Greenwood is learning the creative aspect of his game. He is. His passing is also the way he can switch play as well. I mean, when you've got a shot like he has, and when you compare to Robin van Persie, you should probably also have that in your locker, which he does, because Robin van Persie was the same. It's amazing. Big up Kenny says I'm probably going to have a snow day tomorrow. Love it. Now, that's what I mean about spine togetherness. United just individual FC, so it seems. Well, yeah, of course they are. You are correct now, targeting young Greenwood. Did they see Cavani the other day? He could play Greenwood in and didn't, but no one is speaking about that moment. Well, why would they? Because it's come from Cavani. Either, I don't know, your fan base is just mentally retarded. To put it as politely as I possibly can, your fan base is just fucked in the head. And when you've got Goldbridge, I can hardly be surprised. That one that does my absolute nuts in his appointment of Fletcher. He's technical director in there. Good evening, Niall. How's it going, everyone in the chat? Big up, DJ Sav. Yeah, I'm just getting really worked up on people's stupid opinions. So it's one of them. I will headbutt someone at some point. Well, I should focus. Bye. Catch you in a bit, Joshy. Rashford is horrific. Pace and 5-star skills is not enough in the modernised game. Well, yeah, and him dealing with low blocks is quite actually horrific. He was doing Sky and coaching under 16s. How has he got a technical director job, for fuck's sake? I'm fuming seeing him on the touchline. He shouldn't be on the touchline, should he? All the leaks from the club, it's worrying that the players think they're going to feel sorry for them. I don't know. Maybe they're just really, really, really not in their head. Maybe they're just fucked up in the head. I couldn't tell you. Greenwood genuinely is our best finisher, as in shooting. He is ridiculously good. I agree. RIP Shocks, absolutely. 100%. I tweeted that out as well. Nobody talks about Sancho moment versus Wolves when if he passed Ronaldo, it would have been 1-on-1. No, if that was Greenwood. If that was Greenwood, he would have been body slammed. Genuinely. RIP Shocks, I didn't know him, but my condolences go out to everyone that did, family and friends, absolutely. It's definitely going horribly wrong at United. Also, again, mate, thank you for your score prediction video for the Birmingham Plymouth game. Have you got around to seeing it? Yes, I have, and I put a like on the video as well. No consistency at United. That's why they ain't getting the results. This will cost them getting top 4. Might do, might not. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? RIP to Shocks. Condolences to his family. Absolutely. But there's more. There's a lot more. We've barely got through any of it. So ignore the noise. Good luck. Your players are making a lot of it. Ed Woodward is known to regret not providing David Moyes with a stronger structure at Manchester United. He told staff he felt he failed Moyes. He thought Moyes could simply step into the office, set up of Sir Alex Ferguson, and the show would roll on. Now, I'm not going to defend him on that, because that idea alone is absolutely the thickest, dumbest that has got to be the worst take in the world of takes. That is appalling. Like, you thought he would just rock up, hey, I'm Scottish as well, let's get this place going. No. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that Fergie's at fault, but Fergie hardly left that squad in the best position possible. Right? This was always going to happen. Always going to happen. You had an aging squad. There was a lot of players that needed to either leave or come through. And the whole situation was a shit show. So there's multiple errors. Errors from Moyes. Oh, fuck. Errors from Moyes. Errors from Fergie. Errors from pretty much all of them. Everyone made a pretty substantial error for sure. Facts Kenny, I was fuming at that decision making from Sancho. I don't know who Shocks is, but may his soul rest in peace. Our hearts and prayers go out to his family and friends. Okay, Dylan, ready for the first lecture of why Anthony Martial is trash. Dylan, how do you spell trash? Jesus Christ. So you've got that one as well. Ed Woodward has talked to staff frequently about of his admiration for Mason Greenwood, telling him that he is the most natural player to Man U, and the 2 years and that 2 years more maturity will see him established for club and country for a decade. If he ain't established for club and country, I'll be fucking fuming for sure. Those close to Edward would point out that his heart will remain at Man U. The frustration for Woodward is he knows he leaves United having failed in the main priority, creating a structure which can ensure silverware. So he has said that. And you know what? I think ultimately he made a lot of mistakes. A lot of errors were made. It was a complete and utter shit show. Yes, I agree with all of that. But ultimately, was it as bad as it was? Well, actually, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, to be fair. Let's move on. Let's do a couple more of your comments, Valve. Big up, so sorry about Shocks, RIP Shocks. He was a quality guy and funny man too, absolutely. Dylan says, Brionac, I think Martial lives rent-free in your head. He's astronomically clear of any other French attacker, and when he's through on goal, it's inevitable he'll obliterate the fearful torn net. Oh, Lord. Hold on, Martial better than Mbappe? That's a mad statement. That is a mad statement. But the next one I want to talk about is John Myrtle and Ralph Ragnick. So John Myrtle and Ralph Ragnick have discussed the future Manchester United choices, managerial choices. Should Ragnick decide on not pursuing his current role in 22-23 season, Erik ten Hag is the number one option, with Marco Rose also on the list. Mauricio Pochettino is no longer an option. That is what I've been told, which doesn't surprise me. Look, Erik ten Hag is one that Ed Woodward has admired, for some time. So, of course, he's been on their list. Would he come to United if they get Europa League? I think he would, because ultimately I think he'll be able to go, look, they'll be in Europa League for a season. Under my guidance, I'll shoot them back up. That's not a problem. We'll come up with a plan. We'll get this team going. I get to coach some of the best young players in the world in terms of Mason Greenwood and Ahmad and the players coming through, Hannibal. I can put my imprint on all of this and really get this going. So ultimately, I do think that this would be a good move if they can get Erik ten Hag. I don't think it also solely bases on Champions League either. I think ultimately there would be a way of getting him there, whether it be via him in the Europa League or even the Conference League. Obviously, you shouldn't expect United in the Conference League at all, but look, I think they can still get him. No, he isn't, Dylan. I will arrange a parents' meeting. I will tell your parents you have a fetish for Anthony Martial. Oh, Lord Jesus. So, yeah, you got that bit of information as well. Manchester United will make one signing this window, ignore recent reports. I do think one signing will come. There's been a lot of talk about Hedera. There's been, multiple others. I don't think they'll get a Ruben Neves, because I can't see Wolves agreeing to sell Ruben Neves at this time of the year anyway. Not in January. And if they do, you're going to be paying an astronomical price anyway. So I can't see it being done at this moment, but I can see one signing coming in for sure. So do keep your eyes out on that. And Portuguese players at Man U, Portuguese players at Man U have put Ralph Ragnick in direct contact with Ruben Neves. Understand that Ruben Neves wanted Man U last summer and would not say no to a club if the club made a formal approach in January. Ragnick has also had one-to-one discussions with 3 other players. Obviously, you have players like Hedera and all of that could potentially do it. So, but yeah, for me, I can't see Ruben Neves going to United in the January. 50 million, far too much to spend on one player in January. I can see the likes of maybe a Hedera. There's a couple there's a couple in Europe that contracts run out at the end of summer that you could pick up for 5-10 million. That would be a better call. And of course, there's the risk of the adaptation. But, I think Ralph will use his contacts within Europe. I don't think you'll see one from the Premier League. I cannot see it happening at all. Big up Niall for another stream throughout the day. Not a problem. Wolves said they'll listen to offers, but he's 50 big ones. Yeah, well, you're not gonna make a big one, are you? Man, you made a mistake not getting Neves as summer. He was available then. That is true. That is true. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the chat. If anyone does want to come on, be my guest, absolutely up for that. So yeah, let me just pin that in the chat though. Let's just pin that in the chat, and then job is a good one. There we go. Just pinned it in. Big up, Niall. How you doing, bro? How was your day? Yeah, my day was all good, mate. My day was all good. But we are joined by Kenny. Kenny, how are we doing, mate?
I'm doing good today, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm all good. To start off with, talk to me about what your thoughts are here in the news today. Start with obviously Richard Arnold, I guess.
Richard Arnold. It's not really. It's good news, I think, because he's leaving. Unlike Edward, he's leaving the footballing decisions to other people at the club like Ralph Hackney. I think that's much better because Edward Wood, he liked the club, but he was just stupid. He was just very, very stupid, and that was why he didn't ultimately work out in the end. He made a lot of stupid decisions, and the fact that Richard Arnold is allowing people in the footballing world, like Ralph Hackney, of course, to make those football decisions, it's much better for the club. Going to the news on Ten Hag, I think he is our best managerial choice for us available right now. Because I think his style of play suits us and suits our set of players. Ralph Rangnick's currently does not. His formation doesn't either. Ralph Rangnick currently does not. I think Ten Hag he's an emerging manager. He's got a lot of goals. I think he could definitely get us secured in the top four, which I can't believe I'm saying it now. I can't believe I'm saying that now. But I think he could definitely get us secure in the top four. And also, I think Ten Hag would just settle the club's players to the best of his abilities. He could settle the club's players to the best of his abilities, I think. And yeah, he's also new.
How many do you predict that Ralph will let stay next year? I can't see that many staying. Ralph won't let them. If Ralph has got the control, which we all think he does, I don't think Ralph will let them stay.
Well, let me just.
Apparently, has 17 unhappy players at United. Well, I mean, if Ayrton Hag comes in, then Donny will be happy.
So the loan players count. The loan players count. Or just players that permanently.
Well, yeah, loan players wouldn't count, would they?
Okay, so 1, 2. I'm assuming 3 keepers stay at least. Then it's I'm just listing off all the players right now on the website. 4, 5, 6. I want to say no filling. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, there's not many players, like 20 players. That is not actually many players that would stay in the grand scheme. No, I mean not 20 players that would probably leave. But there's not that many players that would stay in the grand scheme, I think. To be honest,
it could be quite the rebuild. In terms of Woodward's comments, though, what do you make of them? Obviously, saying that he feels he failed David Moyes ultimately. Wished he had created a better sort of structure to win silverware. What do you make of him choosing, especially now, to sort of admit that? Do you think that United fans will be able to forgive him over time? Because ultimately he still has made you a shit ton of money that without him you probably wouldn't have made. So it depends on what United fans are more bothered about. Are you bothered that you're still so rich you could go buy whatever player you want, or is the annoyance that you didn't create the structure?
I think really probably PR from him about those comments. But I really don't think any United fans are going to forgive him, because the fact is he was stupid and he should have let the football decisions go to people who actually knew about the football, but he didn't. That is why United fans will forgive him. If he did in the end, if he did at one point, but he never did until the end of his career. So every United fan is going to think this is PR, which it most likely is, to be honest, because he's just done a lot of PR over the years.
Yeah.
And he will just not be forgiven for what he's done for us. I do think he loves the club. He just that he's stupid. So yeah, no United fans are gonna forgive him. Well, most United fans aren't gonna forgive him.
Yeah, no, that's a somewhat fair statement, I think. And I guess the last bit before we wrap up is this January transfer window. Do you see you signing anyone? If so, who?
Yes, but I can see us signing someone, but I can't see us. But I don't know a name right now. It's going to be either one of Haidara or Zakaria, in my opinion. Or even if we somehow go, oh yeah, let's spend 50 million in January for Ruben Neves. Oh, let's do that, but we're not going to do that, are we? So it's going to be one of those two, Haidara or Zakaria. But I don't know which one yet. I think it's more likely though to be Zakaria. He's much cheaper.
Yeah, no, he is. And that's what I'm thinking, Zakaria. I was actually going to say him earlier, but I completely forgot his name. So Zakaria is the guy that I think ultimately will be the one that moves in. I think just purely on the thought process of, I just can see it. I can just see it. If I'm being honest, Bionic says Martial is awful. He has lazy, rubbish mentality. Overrated footballer. He's not a good footballer. Bring back Woodward. Lansy said, "Bring back Woodward." He helped United finish second last season. But bum Woodward for not giving us Lord Lingard. Woodward knows ball when he sided Gallo for who is clear of Penalto. Kenny, I guarantee you've never watched Hadara in your life. Neither have I.
I haven't, just not watched him that much.
Neither have I, to be honest. I'll be open and honest. I haven't watched Hadara, but
I watched like 2 matches.
What I do know is that he fits apparently Ralph Ragnick's system perfectly, so therefore you'd probably want to bring him in. But I think we are going to wrap it up there. United can screw themselves. I'm not United, and LFC is going out of me thanks to my sis. So just 2 cities. I mean, I don't know.
Why would you put Man City? I wonder, Max. I wonder.
I don't know, but we are going to wrap it up there. I'm not sure if it will be back later tonight. We'll certainly wait and see. I don't know. It was obviously Carabao Cup, so I hadn't really planned for a Liverpool show because they were all going to be busy watching Liverpool, and then they postponed it yesterday, so I haven't really had time to work on that. So I'm just waiting to hear back from some people. Might have one. But your best chance to know is if you subscribe with notifications on, and that. But yeah, Kenny only knows Hadara from League SB8.
I don't play FIFA Ultimate Team. I barely play it anyway.
I don't know any of that. Hadara is very inconsistent. Can't be as inconsistent as Scott McTominay and Fred, for sure. But look, we'll wait and see, won't we? Some players gain consistency at a higher level, some don't. But we'll wait and see, won't we? But a big up to everyone who's been in the chat and who's watched. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are watching on the replay, thank you for making it so far. A couple more articles went out on our website, www.letstalkpremierleague.co.uk. We did an article on the Liverpool youth, which was really good. I really enjoyed writing that one. And then we've done a massive piece on the life of Aaron Ramsdale from AFC Wimbledon to Arsenal. The rise of Aaron Ramsdale, which was another great article that I had a great time writing whilst actually listening to the Aaron Ramsdale podcast on on with Ben Foster. So that was really, really good timing actually. So I really enjoyed doing that as well. So do check out the website and give those articles a read if you could do so as well. Beyond X says, now can I fight DC? I mean, you can do what you want. I'm not your parent, so you know. Great stream as always. Peace. Big up DJ. And Kenny, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me what is it again? At Kenny B210 on Twitter. You have to request the account. Kenny Steve on YouTube and Kenny United fan on Twitch.
Perfect. But yeah, we might be back later. If not, we'll definitely be back tomorrow. There's no news show tomorrow. There's no evening news evening stream tomorrow. It's got the Chelsea show 6 p.m, the United show at 9 p.m, and boy oh boy oh boy, that United show could get explosive. So yeah, with all of these leagues, it could last more than an hour. You never really know. But yeah, that United show should be laughs. And then obviously FA Cup weekend this weekend, so we're gonna have a few watch-alongs as well. So make sure you tune in for the channel, because it's gonna be a great weekend for sure. And then we're back to normal next weekend, because next week I think it's Premier League back. So yes, until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.